Thank you for being so patient. It's a difficult feeling to come towards the end of the day, but I promise to keep it very entertaining. My topic sounds like a poem. Actually, my real topic is that is AI going to take our jobs away? And two, why do recruiters not reply to your LinkedIn messages when you try to reach out for jobs, right? So my answer to question number one is AI taking our jobs away. My answer is yes, 100%. 200%. It is going to take our jobs away unless we become fully compliant and we get in sync with how the systems are going to change. The answer to question number two is that why recruiters don't reply to our messages is because they are not able to extract any information that we are trying to do in building something next gen for ourselves and our careers. So there are a little bit of stuff that I've done. I promise to keep it very jargon, very complicated, very difficult, so that when you listen to things, you start Googling, you start looking into your phone, you remember some excerpts of it, and then you go back home, then again you Google, and you figure out what the hell he was talking about. That ways, you will straight away start getting into the world of whatever conferences are happening around Dubai and kind of getting your hands dirty and checking how easy it is to actually execute and take yourself to next level. So I'm just sharing some of the excerpts here. This is, I'm sure you've heard everywhere, right? I'm not going to spend too much time. The most important consumer interaction today, their expectation is personalized. Earlier, there were machine learning units that were helping with the personalization, where there was a human sitting on top of it, deciding what messages goes at what time to different kind of consumers, becoming automated through AI chains. Then you see retail operations, again, very heavily dependent on human manpower. Again, moving to, you've been hearing these terms since morning, or from the other conferences about agentic AI. They're trying to do that. So in general, consumers of mature markets, be it Western Europe, US, or even Middle East, as much as 70 to 80% have these expectations that the ability for them to pick up a product is going to be instant. The outreach of the marketers or campaigners, which is us, is going to be heavily personalized. If it is not personalized, their interaction or their loyalties are going to be like really challenging towards whatever business we are in. So I'm sure, if I was doing this presentation 3 years back or 4 years back, I would have created this funnel, and I would have shown you the pre-independence funnel, which would look like bottom funnel, mid funnel, and up funnel, where I would say, okay, do some kind of brand campaigns on top with a CPM target, and then do some mid campaigns, which is install targets, and then at the bottom do a remarketing, right? All that information and definition, you have to just throw it, take out of your head and throw it into a bin, because that is not important. What has happened in the last 2 years, 3 years, is that most of the people have moved on to good devices, be it the iOS device or be it extremely good Android phones, which are anyways not passing the post-packs, right? So we had different presentations today which are talking about multimedia modeling mix, which are talking about your budget optimization. It's not going to be done by humans anymore. So there's two ways of doing it. One is that you put all your efforts, learning and unlearning what happened in the past, and work on probabilistic models, which you would see with a lot of different technologies coming in, which will get you 60 to 64% closer to what your consumer targeting is. Or the other is where the smart marketers will start creating their own bots. And again, I'll keep throwing certain names in the middle which you can Google, because I know that people in my fraternity who are kind of up there in the job market, you're the ace numeros, they're doing it already, right? So a smart marketer today will probably go to a vertex.ai, which is a Google Cloud self-computing AI platform where you can create agents, will try to pass information, collate all the data of whatever marketing campaigns he or she has done, and try to create an optimizer through that agent that how much money should be allocated to which campaigns to get me the best possible organic traffic in the end. So a lot of stuff happening. You see a lot of fancy versions, which I'll show you as well, which is the creative part of it, where people are spending a lot of effort and time into video creation, content creation, influencer campaigns. But the real heart and soul would be, in the end, how much of money and budget allocation that you're planning to do. That will make or break your career, right? Because the reach of the marketer is by the width of the budget that they handle under their portfolio. So today, right, if you ask me that as a marketer or as an AI-first marketer, what am I ready with? I would say that to some extent, I have been working on the discovery part, which is more of creative, which is more of imagination. I've been working more on the conversion part, which is more of campaign optimization, and this is all about the power of AI that I'm talking about in retail. For me, the other ones is still work in progress, right? I still do not have the perfect bot which can give the absolute perfect recommendation to the customers, right? I'm still dependent on a lot of machine learning apps or machine learning third-party SaaS tools to do that for me, which probably will become ancient maybe a year from now. I'm still not able to extract the full value of the real consumer lifetime and create a loyalty program out of it. Again, in a year from now, all of this will be outdated. Someone sitting somewhere will probably create this agent that will understand and isolate the bad customers from good customers and pass most of your consumer benefits to them. So this, in my world, is the new funnel, right? So all of us today as a market, as a fraternity member I'm talking about, that the way you have to look your future is that how do you automate each of these functions to get to closer to 99% accuracy? In the morning today, I was at the AI seminar, which was happening at Medin Atsuk, and there were representatives from Dubai government, and they said that our ambition is that the AI should replicate 99% of human functions, right? And right now, for most of the functions that they've automated, it is about 70%. So that is the kind of accuracy we also need to keep in our minds, that at least we need to get to 99% accuracy and then move above and beyond than what humans could possibly do. So on the right side, you see there are a lot of strategies that people are doing. They're making their physical store or the online store as the sensor, right, from where the data is kind of captured. Store becomes a content engine, store becomes a data engine. And then everything is mulled together, smashed together, and then operative AI is created from where the decision, your daily lame decision making, is going to now happen through systems. This is already happening, and as we speak, you would see different iterations of GPTs coming out. There was 1, now there's 2.0, then there's 4. Everything is actually trained to what today they were saying is reinforce your decision making. So if you have a particular decision that, okay, this campaign is good, but it may not result in the optimum organic traffic, or it is stealing my current free customers, the systems are trained to isolate that and then start a new journey and give you a much better and much enhanced version of the bot that has been created. So I can just give you a little bit of some brief of what little steps that we have taken. And I call it little is because if the benchmark is of 100 in terms of today generative AI usage, I would say I probably am sitting at number 10, right? So there's still 90 steps to go over there. But within that, I have at least experienced 89 to 90% budget savings, at least when it comes to creative, when it comes to campaigns, when it comes to videos, when it comes to editing. It's just now been done both at a very, very immaculate speed and at like at least 89 to 90% lesser budget than what it used to be depending on the production house or maybe an agency. So for example, something as simple as this. When this presentation was being created initially, I did not even have this new version of GPTs which is able to do end-to-end image creation using your catalog images. So the version that I come from was that you pulled in the catalog images into a different ecosystem. From there, you put the model on top, and then you move it to GPT, and then you enhance it. But right now, within your GPT, actually, you can achieve all of these versions. So a lot of static content, we started doing it like about 6 months back, and started looking at like really, really great outcome. We were not so much dependent on calendar, management of social media calendar, or maybe even management of content strategy overall, because the system started understanding us. It really knew that what are the engagements we are getting. We would upload this data. System has a tag for every content. Then we would download the results from Instagram stats, upload it to our GPT, and GPT would exactly understand that where the engagement is coming from and what kind of content should be created. That was step 1, right? But that was very important because that was a building block from where we were heading next. This was our next step. Next step was that now that we have the versions of GPT which is talking to your catalog, is there a possibility to get higher engagement than the general static catalogs that you have? Now this is just not limited to an online store. This can translate across any kind of catalog that you have. You could be a physical store business, but you still have an online catalog, maybe a website, right? Is there a possibility that you move the normal ecosystem or something like where you see a product image, which is an overlay of price or availability or maybe even size, and kind of juxtapose it with some environment where the conversion becomes better? So as a customer, and we have enough survey points around that what you see on the right, for them is a better engagement with the product versus what you see on the left. Left is what everybody does day in and out. Right is where we have found our gold mine, and the interactions on these kind of catalog is insane. Right? These are all our thought process. We pick up our products, we put the prompts, take it into a runway fashion in Milan or Paris, or make it into the one that you see the first, is make it like a very fancy brunch in some fancy restaurant in Dubai, sea facing. So it kind of brings in the context and the environment into fashion, which I think is a very important aspect to make everything easily convertible for the customer. Anyways, they are dealing with their own pressures of not finding the right size, not getting the deliveries as per the anticipated time. The least we could do is, as marketers, make the experience much more cohesive and very ubiquitous. So this kind of became our step 2 in terms of our build-up. Then came our step 3. Step 3 is that I just cannot have one writer each for each states within GCC, right? So we are talking about Arabic and we're talking about several dialects. We're talking about several different tones of writing. We're talking about several different styles of writing. Why does it need to depend on human, right? So here, obviously, we took a little bit of lazy approach. We did not build a bot. We took a ready-made approach. We got a partner. The partner says that whatever you want to publish in English, upload it as an Excel sheet, give it to us. We'll give you whichever dialect you want, and we'll give it in the most possible closest tone that you have for your brand. Again, we did reiterations of that. We uploaded literally every terms that we had. We uploaded our catalogs, we uploaded our descriptions, we uploaded our even how to use the products. And then in the end, we were actually getting ready-made solution. About 15, 20 iterations later, over a period of 3 or 4 months, this was a ready product, right? So we got the ability to maybe translate a catalog into any Arabic dialect in maybe a matter of minutes, which would usually take hiring of writers, human capital management, human manpower management, ensuring back and forth feedback. All of that is kind of eradicated because we took up a ready-made solution for that. So how all of this kind of blends together is, if you check from right to left, that we created holistic campaign, right? So whether you're doing PPC, which is any paid ads, whether the format is Google or Meta, you're doing the Advantage Plus, you're doing PMax, video is your main asset. So you move there to PPC, we had the social assets. Everything is in video format. There you see the social, on-site is on the catalog, ATL is that will go across billboards, and this is how it comes together. So the good thing was that we were very scrappy from the beginning, right? So we knew that while we take time to build solution or learn how it is done, we were there in the market to pick up the ready-made apps which were able to give us these kind of results immediately with similar prompts, right? So there are a lot of ready-made solutions where you just put the prompt and you get a whatever output you need. So we knew that as a team we have a learning base, we have a learning period. It'll take us about 2 or 3 months to kind of understand that what are the different permutations of apps which are needed to create an output like the one that you just saw. So that was the fancy part of our business where starting from scrappy solutions, moving into as much as 6 different AI app usage and how to blend them together on a CapCut or any VideoLeap.ai, which are the ready-made softwares, and presenting the most important assets in our business, which is obviously video assets, and that's how it's happening everywhere. That was the generative AI part. Now we come to the agentic AI part, right, which is the work in progress that I was talking about. So essentially, we realized that there are 2-3 different data that we have. As an e-commerce engine, you have the pre-order metrics, which is basically everything that a customer does before they make a purchase. What page they're visiting, how much time they're spending, what are the products they're, what are the variants they're checking. All of that information is available. You're capturing on your backend. Probably you will have some kind of cloud, maybe it's an Azure, or maybe it's Amazon S3 server. Everything is getting captured. So you guys will have data scientists in your team or the data guys who are going to extract this data using SQL and give you insights. And that learning period is, for them is about 2 weeks. Then they pass you insight. Then you have a meeting with your CMO or with your CEO. Then you try to convince about insights. And then the whole period is about 4 weeks. By that time, you're actually hitting the next season, the next campaign. So we thought, again, it's not a sustainable way. We started working on the bots, which actually will scrap out all the data, pre-order metrics, to give us a feedback to the merchandising team or your business teams, whether the product that is there in the store is the optimal product or not. For example, something which is getting high add to carts, do you have enough stock? Something which is not getting enough product views, are you doing the right campaigns for that, right? So all of that then starts talking back and comes as a comprehensive feedback, which you don't have to, again, waste your time or the data team's time on it. Then, the next is the full data service stack, right? So initially was the agent, which basically does pretty much the same thing that your ML person does or data guy does. Then in the end, what you want to get finally is 3-4 factors, right? You want to have the right inventory management and commercialization to ensure that your store is not stocked out. You need to have the right merchandising loop. That means you're able to tell the business team that this campaign is profitable, this is not profitable. And in the end, you need to have some AI layers on top of, let's say, store business, that what is the interaction of customers that you can really capture. So when you merge all this data together, right, so we are essentially talking about 30 into 550 manpower days being crunched into like less than 60 minutes. The point is, if we do this again and again, you are actually kind of getting yourself ready for the next phase of marketing, which is basically outsource, or maybe all your scrappy work should be done by the agent. The only work that you should be doing is thinking about a large campaign or strategy, or maybe interacting with the right stakeholders within the company to ensure that they're aligned with your goals. So in the end, running out of time, but just quickly saying that AI isn't replacing retail when it comes to it. It's actually kind of making the experience way, way better for customers. AI is not replacing retail, it is replacing us, right? So I was very clear about that. And if you are very confused about where to start it with, look at the biggest consumer pain points within your departments and see how you can make it automated, and you can kind of get closer to, as I said, consumers' heartbeat. So with that, my time's up. Thank you so much. Sorry, I had a lot to cover up.